how I build a video business to be location free and travel the world. So if you don't know me, my name is Aviv Benor. I'm a creative strategist. Back in 2015, I founded my video production business and I scaled it to around 20K. I worked with clients like Ernst Young, L'Oreal, Adidas, Philips Hue, and many more. And in this video, I want to take you through my journey, how I started like every other videographer, realized I don't like what I'm doing, and then I changed it to what I do today, and hopefully you can do the same, which is work from wherever you want, make the amount of money, and just build a lifestyle that you always dreamed on, doing something you actually love. So let's get started. Intro, or whatever. I don't do those things. Hope you're okay with an uncut video. So let's start. First of all, you have to understand something. Wait, let me get comfortable here. At some point in my life, I realized I want to be location free. And it all started back in 2013. I was traveling in Central America. I did like this big trip, 7 months, 7 countries, with my backpack, with my surfboard. And at one point, I got to this surfing village in Mexico. Very rural place. No one is there. It's like very few people. Just an amazing place, I remember. And there was a river that got into the ocean. And that what enabled like really amazing waves. I don't remember the place. Anyway, I remember just sitting by the river and seeing this kid starting to scream and getting swept by the current. And I didn't think too much. I just ran and grabbed that kid's hand and pulled it up. And her name was Zoe. She was like 4 years old, I think. And her dad just saw me save his daughter. And he was like, "Hey man, thank you so much, blah, 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 hug me and everything." And then he invited me to sit on their table that they were doing a barbecue. And turned out he was like an American living in Mexico, and he's like a super, super rich dude. We were sitting down and he started to, we were starting to have this conversation, and I asked him like, "What do you do in life?" And he explained to me about this thing called affiliate marketing, and that he's working online and he makes his money from the internet. And I was like, what? You can do that? Remind you guys, this is 2013. Working online is not a thing at all. Like 99%, if not more than people, everyone just works in an office, 9 to 5 office, okay? And so this idea of working online and just, I can keep on traveling, because at that time, I fell in love with traveling. And so this idea that I can do both, I can work from wherever I want and do something I love, was like life-changing for me. Later on, he invited me to his house. He showed me like this big mansion, 2 jet skis, a private beach, a private helipad, all those amazing things. Which, to be honest, I didn't really care for. All I cared for is like, dude, show me how you make your money. And he started to teach me about this thing called affiliate marketing. And to be honest, I wasn't really into it. I tried it later on, but it didn't really amount to anything. Anyway, I came back home. And later, like 2 years afterwards, I started doing videos. Because I always look to do something I love and passionate about. And I found that videos is just something I'm deeply in love with. I always envision and then I execute, and I love how it turns out, and just the whole thing. I don't need to sell you this. Anyway, so I started my video production business in 2015. I started with just like with my drone, and then shooting, and then editing, and then producing, and then directing, and then doing everything together. And yeah, the business started to grow, but something was missing. I was doing something I love, but I wasn't doing it from wherever I want. Because, remind you, I fell in love with traveling. And I remember at some point, I talked to this really big director from a very successful video production company. I wanted to get his advice on how I can grow my business. And he looked at my business. I was making around 5 to 10K at the time. And he was like, look, bro, you're probably making more than I am and you have less headache. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like a big production company, they were making like productions in the 50K plus. And he told me, look, you got to understand how this business works. Like we have those huge studios. We are a few partners in the firm. We have all these people, staff, all this equipment. Like I don't even start my month and I have 20 to 30K expenses. And at the end of the day, I'm not taking home very much in profit. You're probably taking home more than I am. And I was like, that is, wow. That was a huge thing. Beyond that, he told me that, when it comes to creative freedom, you think about those big brands, those big contracts, those big names. What happens in those scenarios as well in terms of creativity, which I love to have creative freedom. Like that's what one of the most important thing for me is that if you're a production company, a lot of times you can get sandaled, you can get like shackled into the client's idea and the agency idea, and you're just the hands that do the stuff. You're not the brain who thinks about the stuff. Again, I'm exaggerating to make a point. Of course, it's not 100% here or there. But all those points together made me realize, wait a minute. So I'm building something I don't want? Because that was the direction I'm heading, right? Like renting a studio, having all this equipment, hiring staff. And I was like, wait a second. I'm building my future cage. I don't want that. Holy shit. And I remember at that point, I was like, okay, let's stop this for a second. What the hell do I want? And how do I want that? And from that point on, and I remember just having this vision of how I wanted my business to be. And everything that is not that, automatically, I would either say no to, I would either not try to proactively get. So for example, the first thing is understand, like, how can I get clients that I don't need to be location dependent? So the first thing was e-commerce. E-commerce clients, they sell products. You don't need to come to their offices to shoot, right? Like, you can select the location. You can select the staff. I mean, of course, you can always select the staff. What I'm trying to say, you can select the location. That's what I'm trying to say. And so the first client I worked with, which was an e-commerce brand, I was shooting at home, like basic stuff for their products. And those ads actually worked pretty well. And then it opened my mind to like, oh, wow, I can actually might be able to do this, to travel and still shoot. That's the first thing. The second thing is clients who enabled me to travel. One of my first clients who I was able to do it with was it was a ski vacation organization like business. They did these organized ski vacations, and I went and did like a full week in Cellaronda, Italy, which is an amazing place in the Dolomites. I'm not sure how to say that. Anyway, amazing location, amazing shoot, and I suddenly saw my vision come to life. You know, when you're starting to be very intentional about what you're doing, and then it comes to fruition. Man, this is by design. It's not by mistake. You cannot hope to build something without envision it first and going towards it, right? I see a lot of people, including me, okay? just hoping stuff will happen. They never do. I don't know. At least for me, I don't know if you like manifest things or whatnot. I never did. It's just like envision what I want and then taking actions towards that vision and saying no to something that is outside of that vision. And so that was the first experience of having a location-free kind of like business. And then I took that a step further into what I do today. Don't get me wrong. I love shooting. I love editing. I love directing. But I don't love it when it's like all the time. And so I started to think with myself, what are the parts in this whole process that I love the most? And what I realize is, for me, I love to come up with the ideas, with the concepts, sometimes with the script, and the strategies for the client. And so I started taking this and implementing this as a business. And so fast forward for today, that's exactly what I do. I'm a creative strategist. I build video strategies for my clients, and then I help them execute that, either if I find other talented videographers, or I help them hire them, or find like content creators and helping them execute the ideas through briefs, through SOPs, or whatever it is, and then improving that. I just love that. I'll give you an example. Just last week, I closed a client. It's a big startup company. They pay me $5,000 a month for a 1 weekly Zoom meeting. Of course, there's a lot of work behind the scenes that I do with research and writing the briefs and stuff. But it's not by accident that I closed this client. It's by design. It's been designed that for years and years. But what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that if you want to have your video business location free like I have, first of all, understand that it won't happen by mistake. You need to make it happen. You need to be thoughtful about it and take actions towards it. And I just showed you how you can do that. And so hopefully it just helps you get more clarification into how to do that. Of course, I don't have time here to go into too much detail and in too much depth on how to do all those steps and how to do all those things. If you want help with that, that's exactly what I do in my coaching business, which is Film Business Master. It's an online coaching business for filmmakers, for videographers, where I help them to get clients, I help them to create a system, I help them to be location free. By now, we already have 4,000 students who went through the program, and many more. Yeah, anyway, if you like this video, I would love to get a comment from you and just tell me what else would you like to see. And even if you didn't like this video, just let me know, because I'm all I want is to make content and improve the content. So I won't be able to do that if I don't get feedback. So see you in the next one. Yeah, bye.